All right, Frank, bringing some positive stuff here to talk to you about saving money and how important retirement money is for you to save. So, we're going to be talking about a couple of things here and stuff like that. So, with that being said, is savings important? I think it really is. I think it's important in your 20s to be saving. I think it's important in your 30s to be saving. I think it's important in your 40s to be saving. I'm going to go to the web and bring up some points on the web, and then I'm going to bring my own points of what you think about this. So, going over and checking it out. Here we go. All right, so taking a look at this, it says aim to save 10 to 15% of your gross annual income starting in your 20s and 30s. Experts recommend that you should have 10 to 12 times of your final salary saved by the age of 67. Okay, so you should save in your 20s and 30s. Well, what if you're in your 40s and 50s? You still need to start doing it. All right, secure the employee match program. Again, if your company that you work for is doing any type of a match, you need to match it to get the full money. That's free money. So go to your job, figure out what the match is going to be. Talks right here, secure employee match. Next thing, leverage tax advantage accounts, Roth 401ks, all that kind of stuff. And then here's a little thing that they're saying, the age-based benchmark. If you're at the age of 30, so let's say you make 50,000 a year or 100,000 a year. Doesn't matter, or 300, doesn't matter what you make. But by age 30, you should have your salary saved. So if you're making $50,000, by the time you're 30, you should have 50,000 saved. Now notice right here, they say by age 40, you should have 3 times your salary saved. So we'll use the 50,000. So that means 50, 50, and 50. By the time you're 40, you should have 150,000 saved. If you were 50, let's say at 50 you were making 100,000 a year at this point, throughout your year. At 50 years old, you should have 600,000 saved, which is again something for you for later on. So why is this important? It says right here, building savings is fast and easy when you pay yourself first by automatically transferring a high yield savings account. Target big expenses like rent and car loans and using digital envelopes to track your goals. All right, so we're going to talk about this here real quick. And we've talked to a few of my friends about this and stuff like that, so I'm going to give you a couple analogies. So let's say you make $1,000 in a week. I don't care if you make $10,000 in a week, but the number is if you make $1,000 in a week, 10% is $100. So let's use $100. So say we're going to go on vacation and we were going to take $1,000 with us, and $1,000 you were going to take with you on vacation, and you were going to take all the $100 bills. But ironically, when you got on vacation, you realized you left one of them at home, and you only had $900 with you instead of $1,000. Do you realize you'd probably still have pretty much the same type of vacation on $900 opposed to $1,000? Even though that $100 is at home that you forgot, you're probably going to have about the same time. Let's use the grocery store. Let's use $150 because it seems that groceries are never $100 anymore. They're $150 to $200. So let's use $150. What's 10% of $150? That's right. Put it in the comments. $15. If you would go to the grocery store with cash of $150, you're going to get so much money, so much groceries that you're going to buy. Well, the funny thing is if you would have forgot $15 at home and went to the grocery store with $135, you're probably going to get about the same number of groceries. What's this 10%? The 10% is paying yourself first. Paying yourself first, get that money to you. Because again, in your 30s and 40s, they're saying you're supposed to have 3 times your salary already saved. Let's use the casino. Let's say you're going to go to the casino and you allocated that $200 is going to be what you're going to, you allowed that I can afford to spend $200 at the casino. But you got there and you left one $20 bill at home. Happens to be exactly 10%. One $20 bill on 200. You have $180 at the casino. Come on, everybody. Aren't you going to still have about the same amount of fun on the $180 that you would have had on the $200? But the point is paying yourself first. I've actually tricked myself. You pay your Verizon bill, you pay your electricity bill, you pay your rent bill. I pay the Frank Incorporated bill. I pay me. Every single week, every single month, I'm paying me. Now, I'm putting my money into a Vanguard account, and I got an IRA and this and that. But the point of the matter is, I did take the Dave Ramsey class at church about 11 or 12 years ago. I may think it was like 13 years ago. Really, really good class at church. I recommend everybody do it. Also, a year later, they repeated the class, and they had it up on the screen, and they said, last year was our first year doing it. If anybody wants to repeat it, you can do it. And I did. I repeated it. Biblical principles, very, very good. They do the envelope principle that you put everything in envelopes and stuff. Now there's digital. A lot of people don't have cash and stuff. The point is you need to do something for your savings, because if not, you're just going to be on a treadmill, running and running and running. Let's go over to check out some other things here. Here are some tidbits. Shop around for insurance, compare quotes. Gecko and Progressive every 6 months. You want to do that. This is ways you could save money inside of your savings. Refinance loans. That's always good. Control everyday spending. So take a look at this. Control everyday spending. Use the 24-hour rule. Rate 24 hours before you purchase any major things and stuff. Shop for groceries online. Using curbside pickup for delivery from local spots. Prevents impulse buys. I mean, if you do go online and you purchase your things and you pick it up or have it delivered, you're not going to throw this in the cart and that in the cart and this in the cart. That makes sense. Look at this one. Canceled unused subscriptions. Go through your bank statement to find reoccurring charges for apps, streaming services, gym memberships that you're no longer using. The key thing here, automate your build your wealth. Automate this. So every single week, if you get paid, you should be transferring some of your money to your account, or every single 2 weeks and stuff like that. They talk about 25 effortless ways to save money without even trying. Take a look at this.
I feel like so much of the advice out there on saving money really overcomplicates it, when at the end of the day, it's simple. How much you can save comes down to how much you make minus what you spend and give. Everything else, whatever is left over, can go towards saving, towards peace of mind so that when rainy days come, they don't overwhelm you, towards freedom so that you can get out of debt, travel, and pursue your dreams, and towards security so that as you age, you'll have something to live on. And so what we're after, as we're talking about looking to save more, is to look for ways to lower our expenses so that we have more left over at the end of the month. The good news here is there are a lot of small swaps and micro changes that you can make to your current spending habits that can really make saving feel effortless. We have a lot to cover. I have 25 saving hacks that I want to share with you, so let's get right into it.
Which is perfect here. She was giving some good tidbits and stuff like that. So I'm going to run through a few things that I think that's important. Again, if you get paid every 2 weeks, whatever the number is, I think you should take 5 or 10 or 15% and just transfer that into a Vanguard account. You need to have a separate account, not the account that you pay all your bills with, because as you watch your bills and your account go, you get paid, and then you can pay your bills and you get paid. The problem is if you're saving the money inside there, you end up spending it. You have to send that money to a separate account. Now, I like the Vanguards and the different retirement places. Of course, you can have your Roth money for your, when you get to be 59 and a half, you can take it out penalty free, which is fantastic and all that good stuff. But I kind of like the having it in a separate account that you're not going to touch. Now, here's the thing. When you save this money, the first thing they say, there's a couple things. First thing they say is save $1,000. So save it. Dave Ramsey taught this in the class. Save $1,000 as fast as you can. After you save $1,000 as fast as you can, you're actually supposed to get 6 months of your expenses. Say your expenses was $3,000. Maybe they're $6,000. Doesn't matter. But if they were $3,000, $3,000 times 6 is $18,000. So you save $1,000 as your first goal. Your second goal is to get 6 months of your living expenses saved. Once you have 6 months of your living expenses saved, again, saving for a rainy day is really, really important, because the rainy day is going to come. Dave Ramsey talks about that in his thing. It's like somebody says, oh my gosh, it's Christmas time. I got 4 kids. It didn't sneak up on you guys. You've had 4 kids for a while. Christmas comes around every single year. This is where he talks about the envelope thing, that if you're going to spend $1,200 a year on Christmas, you need to put $100 a month aside for Christmas. So when Christmas comes, it's not a surprise. How about the car repair? When the car actually breaks and it's an alternator, it's $1,000 or $2,000, it's not a calamity. It's a part of life. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about the doodads that they actually have on the game and stuff. Landing on doodads, it costs you money, that just takes money out of your account. Listen, these are not unexpected. You know that car repairs are going to happen. You know that birthdays are going to come. You know that Christmases are going to come. You know that anniversaries are going to come. These are not surprise things. These are all on the calendar. In order for you to win, you have to strategize and you have to plan and you have to kind of come up with some kind of a strategy. Again, let's use the Christmas thing that you were spending let's say you were spending $1,500 at Christmas is for all your kids and everything like that. You need to take 1,500 divided by 12. Well, 100 times 12 is 1,200. It's probably like 125 or something. 125, and you need to stick that 125 every single month. Now, this savings is not for the retirement savings. This savings is just to cover that doodads when it comes up. So again, Frank's Life Corner here. We talk about online businesses. We talk about making money online. We talk about strategies. We've talked about crypto before. Today we're talking about savings, and savings is so important because it gives you your freedom back. If you want your freedom back, you start saving and stuff. And after you do it for about 10 years and you have X saved and stuff, you're going to feel a little bit more secure that you're not living paycheck to paycheck. So hopefully, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, become a member of the channel, share this with your friends and stuff like that. We're trying to grow our channel. We're also basically helping people with online courses and teaching people digital marketing. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you on the next one, and you have a fantastic day.